Maya sat by the window of her small suburban house, her gaze lost in the swirls of rain trailing down the glass. Her life had become a routine, the kind that felt safe but empty. Married for 8 years to Anil, a man she respected but no longer truly knew, her days were filled with polite conversations, shared meals, and the occasional family outing. There was no conflict, but there was no passion either. One rainy evening, Maya decided to take a walk. The house felt stifling, and the rhythmic patter of the rain seemed to call her outside. Pulling on a raincoat, she stepped into the quiet streets, her thoughts as turbulent as the stormy sky. She walked aimlessly until she reached the park, its benches glistening with raindrops and the trees swaying gently in the wind. As she wandered, she noticed someone sitting on a bench under a large umbrella. It was a man, his face partially hidden by the shadow of the umbrella. Maya hesitated for a moment, then moved closer, curious to see who would brave the rain at this hour. "Beautiful evening, isn't it?" the man said as she approached, his voice warm and inviting. Maya smiled, startled by his directness. "It's rainy. Not exactly what most people would call beautiful. But there's beauty in the rain too," he replied, his eyes meeting hers. "It washes everything clean, gives the world a fresh start." They stood in silence for a moment, the rain creating a cocoon of privacy around them. Then he extended his hand. "I'm Arjun." "Maya," she said, shaking his hand. Over the next few weeks, Maya found herself returning to the park at the same time each evening. And each evening Arjun was there, waiting. They talked about everything: books, music, dreams, and regrets. Maya discovered that Arjun was an artist. His life, as colorful and free as hers, was structured and predictable. He was separated from his wife and trying to rebuild his life. With every conversation, Maya felt herself drawn to him in ways she hadn't felt in years. Arjun's passion for life ignited something in her that she thought had long been extinguished. His laughter was infectious, his stories captivating, and his presence comforting. She began to count down the hours until their meetings, her heart fluttering in anticipation. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, painting the sky in shades of pink and orange, Arjun reached for her hand. "Maya," he said softly, "I don't want to complicate your life, but I can't deny how I feel. I think about you all the time. You've brought light into my world when I needed it most." Maya's heart raced. She wanted to deny her feelings, to push him away and return to her safe, predictable life. But she couldn't. "I feel the same way," she admitted, her voice barely a whisper. They sat in silence, their hands entwined, both knowing the gravity of their confession. Maya felt a mix of guilt and exhilaration. She loved the way Arjun made her feel alive, but the thought of betraying Anil tore at her conscience. As their connection deepened, Maya found herself questioning her marriage. Anil was a good man, but their relationship had become a partnership, devoid of intimacy and affection. She wondered if it was fair to stay in a marriage where love had faded. One evening, as she prepared to meet Arjun, Anil noticed her unusual excitement. "You've been so happy lately," he said, his voice tinged with curiosity. "Is there something I should know?" Maya froze, guilt washing over her. She wanted to tell him the truth, but fear held her back. "I've just been spending more time outdoors," she said, avoiding his gaze. Anil nodded, though his eyes searched hers for answers. "I'm glad you're happy," he said, his tone sincere. Maya's heart ached at his kindness. That night, as she met Arjun under the stars, she confessed her turmoil. "I don't know what to do, Arjun. I'm torn between two worlds." Arjun held her close, his embrace a sanctuary. "I don't want to hurt you, Maya. You have to follow your heart, wherever it leads." Days turned into weeks, and Maya's internal struggle grew. She loved Arjun with a passion she hadn't thought possible, but she also cared deeply for Anil and the life they had built together. One afternoon, as she sat alone in the park, she made a decision. That evening, she sat down with Anil. "I need to talk to you," she said, her voice trembling. Anil looked at her with concern. "What is it?" Maya took a deep breath. "I've been feeling lost for a long time, and recently, I met someone who made me realize how much I've been missing." Anil's face fell, his eyes reflecting a mix of hurt and understanding. Are you saying you've fallen for someone else? Tears streamed down Maya's face. I never meant for it to happen. I still care about you, Anil, but I don't know if I can keep living like this. Anil sat in silence, his hands clasped tightly together. Finally, he spoke. I felt the distance between us too. Maybe we both need to figure out what truly makes us happy. Maya nodded, grateful for his understanding but devastated by the pain she had caused. In the weeks that followed, Maya and Anil decided to separate, giving each other the space to explore what they wanted from life. Maya continued to see Arjun, their relationship blossoming into a love that felt both thrilling and terrifying. She admired his art, his zest for life, and the way he made her feel cherished. But the journey was not without its challenges. Society's judgment weighed heavily on Maya, and she often questioned her choices. Yet, every time she was with Arjun, she knew she had made the right decision. One rainy evening, much like the day they first met, Arjun took Maya's hand and led her to the park. Under the same cherry tree where their journey began, he knelt down, a small velvet box in his hand. Maya, he said, his voice filled with emotion. You came into my life when I needed you most. You've taught me what it means to truly love. Will you marry me? Tears filled Maya's eyes as she nodded. Yes, Arjun. 1,000 times, yes. Their love story was unconventional, born from pain and difficult choices, but it was real. Together, they built a life filled with passion, creativity, and a deep appreciation for the moments that brought them together. And as they stood under the cherry tree, the rain washing away the past, they knew they had found a love worth fighting for.